All right, good afternoon. Justin Scott here with the first Lowell Ledger podcast of the year. I am here with two Lowell wrestlers, Jackson Bloom and Cole Chahaki. Welcome on, guys.
Good to see you. Thanks for having us on.
Jackson, I'll start with you. You had some big news over the summer.
If you're referring to my
Indiana.
Indiana University. So it was a pretty fun recruiting process over the couple months. But I just kind of ended up after visiting a couple times, kind of falling in love with the team, the school, the coaches, all that stuff.
What other schools were you considering?
It was probably between Indiana, Northern Iowa. I liked Michigan, and then probably North Carolina.
And so what about Indiana made you think, okay, I'm going to pick Indiana over, Michigan or North Carolina?
Yeah. So it was a couple things. For one is I want to go to school for sports media.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sports media and broadcasting, and Indiana has a great sports media program. They're one of the only schools that their students run the Big Ten Plus network.
Mm-hmm.
And they, Mark Cuban went there, and he's pretty involved with that program as well. And so that was just huge for me, just for looking past my wrestling career.
What part of sport media interests you?
I've always wanted to be a broadcaster, stuff like that. See if I could announce games for Saturday Night Football type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go, and I watched their commentators commentate on a softball game.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing them, how much fun they have doing it, and how much they enjoy just being there, and the actual school part, they have a lot of fun doing that. So.
And I hear they have a pretty good football program too.
Yeah, they're okay right now. It's pretty funny. When I went on my visit, that was not quite the case. They had a overtime game with Akron.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking to myself, all right, well, if I go here, football is not going to be something that I might go to quite often, the games, but Curt Cignetti, they hired Curt Cignetti, got some transfers in the portal, and they've changed it around big time, so.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I went to Western, and Western was not good at football. The first football game I ever went to, they played Nichols out of Louisiana, and Division II, or FCS, and they lost, and they were a bad FCS team, and so I'm like, okay, well, here we go. And then, 2 years later, they're in the Cotton Bowl. So that was really cool for me. So Cole, jump over to you. Have you seen the wrestling schedule, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Anything you're particularly excited about?
Excited to go to Cheesehead. That's something new on the schedule this year.
Mm-hmm.
Down in Wisconsin, that'll be pretty fun. I don't know. The assembly duel is always fun to have at the school. All the new and coming freshmen that don't really see it that much. It's gonna be sick. The atmosphere is awesome. Just another one to look forward to is the Roughneck duels. December 13th and 14th. I believe that's down in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to wrestle Brownsburg. And Brownsburg is top 10 team in the country. And that, if we go down there and go with them and beat them, that would be really good for us.
And I'm glad you're on, because I want to talk about the underclassmen who are coming in. Who are some underclassmen that we should look at, that could potentially be in the starting lineup?
Some underclassmen. Well, we got 3 freshmen actually, probably. I'm going to say John McKay is coming in. We got Carson Bloom coming in. He's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually got a big boy, Braylon Mewson. He's probably going to be our 215. He's pretty solid.
It's rare to get a young 215-pounder. That's exciting. The assembly duel is always super exciting, right? When it's hosted here. You're going to Imlay City this time, which I don't think we've wrestled Imlay City before. Ever. What are you expecting going into that?
Well, no matter who we go against,
yeah,
it's wrestling. So a team's they'll be wrestling their best against us. They're gonna be trying to be prepared. Probably will be a hostile environment, going to a different school or different assembly duel. But
yeah, I've been talking to some of the guys, and they've been saying this could be the best Lowell team ever. What do you think as far as filling out the lineup with Tacho and Jared leaving as seniors last year?
Yeah, I think we fill those holes, you could call them, great. I mean, I wouldn't even consider them holes for us right now, because I mean, if you look at, we had, I believe it was 10 state placers last year, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 10, and then 5 state finalists.
Mm-hmm.
We got all 5 state finalists coming back, and 10 state placers. It's around
I think we have
8 or 9
eight or nine
coming back. And so, you know, you got Tacho and Jared. Jared was a 57-65 last year. And for that spot, we got Owen Sigorski.
Mm-hmm.
He was gotten big over the spring, summertime.
He's an all right wrestler.
He's all right, you know, a couple times state champ. He just committed to MSU.
He did commit to MSU.
He
Okay,
did.
I had some insider information. I had to keep it quiet, but
Okay.
I'm glad I don't have to hide that secret
Yeah.
anymore.
I hope I didn't. I don't know how many people he's actually told. He told me, and I mean the coaches at MSU, obviously. Yeah,
Well,
so.
it's out now, so.
Yeah, that's out now. But for Tacho, we got. I mean, I don't know exactly what guys we have at what weights yet. I'm assuming it'll be someone like Trevor
Maybe
Boone.
Trevor Boone. Trevor Boone's looking
Mhm.
big.
Yeah.
Trevor Boone, at the end of the season last year, he looked really good. Like,
Mhm.
that's someone I think that's going to make a shock this year. If I had to go with, like, someone that gets overlooked kind of in a program like ours. Like, we have so much firepower. Like, you're looking like UC Jackson. Like, everyone's, like, got their eyes on Jackson, right? And, like, obviously Jackson's, like, kind of that guy, right? But, like, I mean, Trevor's, my hot take is he's gonna win a state title this year.
And I think the same way about like being overlooked is like Casey Angle, right? And I mean, he's obviously a really, really good athlete. And you look over, and he finished. What did he finish last year?
Third.
He finished third. Yeah, he was right there. So, I mean, you could have a lot of guys that.
He's gonna be very good this year too.
Yeah, and if you look at the trajectory, I mean, of Trevor, Casey Angle, Logan Dawson's another name I'll throw out there too. I mean, you had Trevor taking, I believe it was 7th or 8th his freshman year, and then last year he took 3rd, or was it 3rd place? Fourth.
Might have took
place, my
fourth.
bad. And then Casey Angle, though, he was someone who sophomore year, he didn't even get sent to the state tournament.
Didn't get sent.
And then junior year last year,
First year
taking
getting
3rd
sent.
place. So.
Well, you mentioned like not going to the state tournament, and so Cole, I'm gonna go over to you. Those lower weights they've been so stacked in recent years. Is it gonna get a little unclogged down there, or do you think there's still gonna be a lot of switching back and forth between you guys?
It's deep. Like,
It's pretty deep.
it's gonna be clogged down there, but
You got Lil Blum, who's going in.
yep.
You've got you. You've got Carter. You're gonna have Sailor. Maybe Carter is a little higher weight now. I don't know, but
Yeah, Carter probably be 126 this year.
okay. Braddock.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he got bigger though. I don't know.
Got Jarrett.
No, Jarrett, of course. Yep.
It's pretty deep right there.
Yeah, you got about 5 guys for 3 weights.
Yep.
Around there, 5 or 6. So.
And what are you guys doing right now? It's still November, but the first competition is the Grappler Gold here at LHS on December 7th. What are you guys doing to prepare for the season right now? 'Cause I don't think practice officially started yet.
No.
Monday.
Monday
Monday.
just starts Monday. Okay.
Yep, week from now.
And you guys are doing. I think you're doing a few things. You're doing like a pie fundraiser, right?
We
Yeah.
are.
Okay. Anything else?
We're working on like getting some sponsorships like for our program this year, like reaching out to companies if they want to sponsor a program.
All right. So tell me about the pie fundraiser, because I know it's something you guys do every year, and maybe the broader community doesn't really know about it necessarily.
I mean, every year we're selling pies to people and kind of helps out with a lot of little things, I guess. Like we need help like raising money for, but we get these pies sold and we the whole wrestling team signs up and we come in and we make these pies for a whole day. It honestly is really fun to come in and make pies with your team, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. And part of it, I mean, one of the reasons why we do this too is because, we donate a lot of the pies. I'm not exactly sure which foundation we donate.
I think it's that River Outreach Ministry. Yeah.
And I think it's really good for the team. It's just one of the fundraisers that we do, but especially this one. I mean, I know I do, and I feel like a lot of the team feels like, this community that we have gives so much to us, and anything we can do to try to help out or give back to the community is something that we want to do. But it's awesome. I think, we spend about 4 to 6 hours making pies throughout the day, and last year we made over 2,000 pies.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
In one day.
Yeah, one day, a couple hours. So we're grinding it out, making them. By the way, whoever's listening, great handmade pies. If you want to buy one, I would highly recommend it.
And when? How long do they have to buy?
I believe till next Friday. Okay. So that's what, the 15th? Something like that. The 15th.
So I've got an interesting question, and it came up at the end of the individual state tournament last year. Cole, did you get interviewed after your final or no?
No, I got interviewed after my semifinal match.
Okay.
Actually. Okay,
and then Jackson, did you get interviewed after your final?
I did.
Okay. I don't usually do in-person interviews. One, because I'm just kind of, you wouldn't believe it, but I don't really like talking to people necessarily. So at least going up to them in that big moment. So
okay.
Jackson, after you won, I'm okay, I'll just I'll message you later. I'll get your quote later.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of other media organizations that they do great work, but they don't have that opportunity, so they want to do the in-person voice stuff.
For sure.
How do you guys deal with the media? Because you're not used to that. You're actually one of the few groups of kids in high school who are dealing with the media, because the football guys, they're not really getting interviewed after games. It's a lot of it's just you guys, especially after those individual and those team states.
It's really cool, honestly, to me. I think it's something that, I have a lot of gratitude about it. I'm really grateful for it, because I feel like it's something that is earned, not given. You have to build a certain status in your community, in whatever sport that is. And so it's different. That's for sure. It's a little bit of a shock still, especially right after the match. Your emotions are high, and then the first thing that you do is get an interview. So sometimes the things that you say, you don't have a lot of time to think about it.
Well, that's the other part of it for me. I'm just wait, these guys just, he just had this big match, and I know Owen last year, he just wanted to get out of there. He was ready to go home. He won the state title. But Cole, what about you? How you were a freshman, and you're getting interviewed after your semifinal match. It's crazy.
Yeah, like what Jackson was saying, you got to be grateful for it. For the moment, you got to really embrace it. But I don't know, you do have to work for it. It is, going off of what Jackson said, it's not given. You gotta go grab it and take it, because some kids aren't getting interviewed, go out there and get the job done, I guess, in the big moments where those people want to come up and talk to you.
Right.
I don't know, after a match, obviously your emotions are high, but getting interviewed is honestly a good feeling. It was cool. I'm walking off the mat, Jarrett just got interviewed, guys coming over to me to interview me, and I was just trying to embrace the moment.
Right. What's it like going to be wrestling with your brother? So Jackson, I'll start with you. You get to wrestle with Carson, and Carson, he went 4-2 at Fargo, so he's a pretty good wrestler in his own right.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any sort of rivalry, being 3 years apart? Trading any banter, anything like that?
No, nothing like that. Sometimes in the room I'll grab a hold of him, something like that, start wrestling a little bit, and it might get competitive sometimes, but I'm just super grateful for the opportunity to be able to compete with him for a year. It's not too often that you get to, share moments like this that we have on our team with your younger brother. And I think it's just going to be a really fun year of him learning, gaining experience. I'm going to try to help him out as much as I can, teach him some things. And, he's even taught me some things. I don't know how many people know, but I a couple weeks ago, about 5-6 weeks ago now, I tore my meniscus, and so I actually haven't wrestled since then. And so what I've done is I've just kind of been able to observe his practices, his tournaments, stuff like that, and the amount of stuff he's taught me, just from being able to help him more in a coaching perspective, as much as I can do myself. Really fun. It's been really fun for me. He's a very similar wrestler to me. And so, the stuff that I see him having to work on, I realize, oh, wow, that's actually stuff I need to be working on, too. So the stuff that he's been able to teach me just from me being able to watch him compete, it's been cool.
Cole, what about you?
Last year was kind of a surreal moment. I don't know, wrestling with Carter more of the times I would wrestle and he would be right after me, which is kind of cool. Even considering he's 2 years older, he's not much bigger than me anymore. But gotta say, like, obviously me and him are one of the top 2 most competitive people towards each other. I don't know, like,
you should see how these two get into it in handball or dodgeball. Like that.
It's we're very competitive, like over the littlest things. But I don't know, when we go in the room, it's more of like he's so good at what he does, kind of like, because I need to work on like finishing better, and like he's so hard to finish on, and going with him, it helps me out so much, because like to finish on him makes it so much easier for me to finish on other people.
I know it's not always the case, but every time I watch Carter wrestle, I feel like it's like 2-1 or like 1-0. Like, he's very good defensively.
Yeah, he's tough to score on, and he's very stingy, if that's a good word to put it. His top game is spectacular, and I like to ride legs on top, and throwing boots in on him is hard to ride because he's really good at a hip slip. But wrestling with a brother on the high school team, like going to at team states in the finals, like going back to back, pin, getting. Jarrett already finished it, but we're just adding on to team score. That was a pretty cool moment. Speaking
of competitiveness, there was a basketball game that took place this summer between you two.
Yeah.
Cole, how do you do it? How are you so effective at shutting down Jackson?
Well, I like to consider myself quite a good trash talker. Like, oh.
No, you guys were trash talking like about each other to me. And for those who don't know, they played a one-on-one basketball game this summer to determine whose picture advanced in this little contest we were having. But Jackson's like, yeah, I'm gonna just destroy Cole, and Cole's like, yeah, he's not gonna score on, like, just stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see how this happens. But I mean, obviously you gotta believe in yourself. You can't have the mindset you're just gonna go out there and lose. And that's one thing that made it fun. Like, we both were like trying to go out there and get under each other's skin and try to get the other off his game, because Jackson does have a good unk shot, which, if you don't know what that is, he'll post you up and hit a fadeaway, like, and his form is horrendous, but it'll go in every time.
Okay.
No, yeah, I sent the tape to Coach Powell over the boys basketball team. He'll be giving you guys a call.
Okay.
So hopefully RJ's okay with you guys doing dual sports this year.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick?
You can, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think one thing that a lot of people don't know is, so, like, I was getting a lot of messages before this being like, oh, you're going to destroy him, it's not even fair, stuff like that. So I actually made myself play with my left hand the whole entire game, and I wasn't, just to give him a little
Okay.
That may or may not actually be true, but
how or actually, do I want to know how you tore your meniscus? I knew you hurt it, but I didn't know it was to that severity.
So I was practicing in Lansing at it's called Simmons Academy Wrestling or whatever. And I was wrestling Nick Sorrow. He wrestles for Hudson, but just live wrestling, last 30 seconds of practice, hit a move, got in a kind of a awkward position, and it was a full bucket tear. And then I think I'm about 4 weeks post-surgery now, but recovery is going great. And I should be back probably in the next 3 weeks or so. So
I think we take a lot of things for granted. I know we've been having fun, but, like, just one bad move or one wrong move, it's not your fault. Even you could be out for the season potentially. Crazy things like that happen, and I think a lot of us are like looking at the schedule and they're like, man, I think Lowell can make another run this year. It'd be 12 straight, right? Mm-hmm. But injuries happen, illnesses happen, stuff happens, and so you've just gotta keep your head down and stay focused, and hopefully we just avoid injuries like that. Cole, what's going on with the hair? Both you and Carter switched to the dirty blonde hair. Is there a reason for that?
I normally have the long flow hair going, beautiful, luscious hair, but it does get in your eyes, and it does get annoying at some point. And I don't know, this preseason I decided just to pull the plug and buzz it all off and bleach it.
And then Carter, wanted to copy you and do the same thing?
So we actually did it on the same day.
Okay.
Different people, we drove different cars, like both came back with bleach buzz.
Okay. All right. So you have a signature look now. Do you have a signature move on the wrestling mat? Because there was, everyone seems to have like kind of one go-to.
Yeah, I've been working on a move with Booj. It's pretty basic, but been working on hand fighting more and getting to a front headlock, so expect some more front headlocks from me this season.
Okay. Jackson, do you have a specific one? I know you're a master of all trades.
Oh, I appreciate it, but I would say I like my underhook high crotches, underhook front headlocks, or a misdirection low single. Those are probably my two go-to moves. Start of the match. So.
You say sweep single?
Sweep single
or dump?
Yeah. It could be any of the four, I guess. I try to always do a variety of moves in a match. I try to, at least I tell myself, okay, if I don't get this, then I go to this, or I go to, like step A, B, and C. But I can tell you one of those moves is always going to be a misdirection low single, and I'm always going to try to get to my underhook high crotch. So.
At what point in a match are you? Because you're always working points, and so, if you're up 10, you're up 12 or something like that. At what point in the match do you decide, all right, I'm just going to go for the tech?
That's a good question. So, for me, personally, it's always just I want to go out in a match and score as many points as I can in as many different ways as possible. And so if I get, if I get a couple takedowns, a couple turns, and I'm up by 8, I want to say, all right, now I want to score. I want to be up by 12 by the end of the second period, stuff like this. And then, the more you keep building your lead, the more confident you are that you can get the tech.
Mm-hmm.
So as the match goes on and you're scoring more points and you realize that the tech is within reach, then you just kind of look at your corner, maybe give them the, I want to cut them sign and go get that tech. So.
Are you ever, Cole, are you ever eyeing the scoreboard, or does it ever just not enter your mind? How do you deal with that?
I'm not like a takedown cut guy, as I would describe Jackson, as take him down 7 times, cut him. I'm probably going to take you down, ride the crap out of you.
I guess my question is, do you always know the score when you're wrestling?
Yeah.
It's always in your head, all right, I'm up 4-3. Oh, yeah. Now I'm down 5-4. It is always kind of
it always is in your head.
Mentally in your head. And the referees very clearly enunciate that, or no?
I wouldn't say the referee does not tell you the score at all.
Okay.
But as a break, you're walking back, say you're on top, you're quick look, you know the score.
Okay. Because I was just thinking to myself, I've never seen a wrestler really make that mistake. They're down and they just let it run out. They always seem to know. So I was just curious. Okay, so Grappler Gold coming up December 7th. What should we look for there?
I would say you're going to see a lot of good teams there. A lot of good guys going out there trying to win the tournament. I'd say what to look out for the most is some guys from Lowell that are just trying to get after it and have some fun, trying to go and put on a show for their home crowd. Because it's pretty cool. This is the first year that we've had Grappler Gold in Lowell.
It was in Dundee last year, Davison, or?
It was in Davison, my first 2 years of high school. Then last year, yes, it was in Dundee.
Okay, all right.
So we get the home advantage this year.
And we've got a lot of home matches this year. Grappler Gold, the Assembly Duel, the RCA duels against our River City Alliance opponents, which Greenville and Sparta should be. Those should be some great competition. The Detroit Catholic Central duel. That's always exciting when you get to wrestle against the Shamrocks. We were there last year along with a team from Florida, which was interesting. The Gary Rivers tournament. So that's 3 in 4 days. So I think that's cool that our home fans are going to get a lot of time to see us. So
definitely.
Anything else? I'm sure we'll be talking plenty this season. So
yeah, I got nothing else.
Right.
Ready to have a good season.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, can't wait for it. All right, well, thanks for being on, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Yep.
Bye.